Good morning and welcome. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning as I am. Well, we'll get started in reviewing what we'll be going over in today's class. We'll be reviewing faith and desire. I hope you take notes and be open to receiving new information. Everyone, have a great class and I'll speak to you after. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing?
Doing great.
Your first Monday back. Anybody catch themselves doing something or? Readjust what you were doing or think?
I have one, intentionally making sure that I stay on track and also take my lunch so that I can recenter.
Everything that we do is habit. Majority of it is coming from a habit. And even a lot of consciously thinking, on a general rule of thumb, we're still thinking from the habit of our old beliefs, behavior. So guess what's going to progress through our day? The old habit, belief, and behavior. Reorganizing your day through controlled imagination is the best way to do it. I used to have the habit, and I still have the habit of doing it, and that's a lot of times I won't pay attention to the time or when it's lunch, but when you start developing different habits or pay attention to what you're doing, you can go back and develop another behavior as well. We've been talking about desire and imagination coupled with faith. And yesterday I asked, who is your imagination? Why do you think I asked that question? Who is your imagination? Anyone?
You're your own imagination.
For me,
And if you're not, then somebody else is in control.
Good.
who's creating your lifestyle?
Creating your lifestyle, that's a big one. Anyone else? Could everyone hear that? Could y'all hear Autumn?
Yes.
Okay. So creating your lifestyle. Anyone else?
It's the creative force within. It's my spirit.
The creative force within, I like that. My spirit. How many of you are using your imagination directly? Anyone? Would your life look differently if you were using your lifestyle, your imagination to create your lifestyle? Or would it look just the way it is right now?
I think we use it to a certain extent. Of course, we can always use more of it. And there's always some bit of it that we're not using.
Right. By imagination, we have the power to do anything we desire to do or be. Through imagination, we disarm and transform the violence of the world. Our most intimate and well as our most casual relationships become imaginative as we awaken to the mystery hid from the ages. That spirit in us is our imagination. That spirit that's in our imagination is your guide. A while back, a couple of weeks ago, I said if spirit is in the forefront, choosing and selecting the ideas that you use, you would have a completely different model. Would you not? That's called intervention. You're intervening in your own ideas, your own space, your own mind space, to decide what images you select to bring into the world.
I think that goes back to, really, if you think about it, is what are you preoccupied with? Is when we talk about this imagination, we're not talking about a split second, or it's not talking about a couple of minutes. We're talking about what are you preoccupied with?
Yep.
If you want to know what your goal is, see what you're doing today, and that's what your goal is.
Yeah.
Not what consciously, we think about consciously what we want, but just look at your behavior during the day, and that's what your goal is. That's what you're doing. That's where you're going. If I look at someone, I don't listen to someone what they say, I look at someone how they behave and what they do, I know what their goal is.
Yep. And whether they say this is my goal and this is
Yeah.
where I'm going, but the doing aspect of it is not, there's no action towards that goal.
Yeah.
That means you're not working towards a goal.
Because think about it, all the things that we do, what's moving us? What we think about.
What we think about.
What are we preoccupied with? Think about this, really. What are you preoccupied with? Your dreams, your imagination, things that you want to bring in your life, or things that you think you can do?
When we start to realize if that we're really not, if we're really not choosing the images, selecting action activities towards our goal or action activities towards a new model, we're really not living. Living is whenever you're designing, you're creating life by design. That means you're selecting the images and you're selecting something entirely new or something not restricted. And if you start to really look at your past behaviors and the past choices you've made, on a general rule of thumb, the average individual is selecting their beliefs.
Yeah.
So desire is and wanting is a catalyst. It's the prerequisite to creation. Want. What do you want? What do you really, really want? Now, when you start to think of what do I want, you're not saying can I do this or can this be done. It's just a question is is, do I want it? That's it. And if you want it, then it's your responsibility to put the plans and action in place. Desire and persistence keeps you moving towards your goal. But you'll never do that if you don't have the discipline and decision making. You got to be able to give yourself command and do it. We're going to get started on our video. You guys take notes and we'll come back to